E. Thomas Slonaker, Sr., my dad, really special man, was on the beaches of Normandy during the D-Day invasion, and he saw a lot during that time, and he realized how important family was to him. He knew I was an insurance agent. He knew I was in the insurance field and investments as well, and came to him and I said, "Dad, I found this great product. I think you're going to really like it." And I introduced it to him, and he immediately embraced the concept. He knew probably better than I did at the time how valuable that would be. It was a way for him to provide insurance protection, but it was also a way for him to set aside a sum of money that he had accumulated and allow it to grow with some tax benefits. It's a product that people invest in out of love. You know, you can spend a world, your whole life, raising your standard of living, but in the last few years, it can all disappear very quickly unless you've prepared for that moment. When we put him into the assisted care facility, the funds that were provided from that long-term care policy paid almost all of the expenses, but he could enter that knowing that a great portion, not all, but a great portion of those expenses were covered, and he didn't have to worry about the erosion of the money he had set aside for my mother. And in a very short time, the first checks started rolling in and never stopped until the day my dad died. And now today, that same policy is protecting my mother. She lived a life in their condo, but she was 7 miles away from him, so she could travel to be with him. She could help feed him and help care for him and dress him and make sure that his day was brightened by a visitor who loved him and cared for him, and then she could go home and she could rest. He died December 9th, 2013, surrounded by loving members of the family who realized that he had left them with something much more precious than anything money can buy. He left them with a sense of what love and caring about your family members can do. I'm sorry, but to change people's lives. But to know that you went out there and you provided something for those that you left behind that'll never be destroyed, that's something that's priceless. That's a legacy that's been left for me. And thanks to One America, I think we've been able to get through those years with some dignity.